Root Brewery, and I am Nick Cetraro.
And I'm Nick Sinclair.
And I'm Angel Valdez.
And I'm Oandasan.
And we are a 100% locally sourced brewery interested in providing the community with a sustainable product. From Hawaii for Hawaii.
My name is Mark Oandasan. I am the marketing manager / co-director.
I'm Nick Sinclair, and I'm one of the brewers and co-director.
I'm Angel Valdez, and I'm the operational manager and director.
I'm Nick Cetraro. I'm a co-director and also one of the brewers.
I have an undergrad in fashion design and merchandising, and I also have my master's in communications.
So I did my undergrad in zoology, which I don't think exists anymore. And then I'm currently working on a PhD in molecular bioscience and bioengineering.
I did my undergrad here in marine biology, and I'm currently working on a PhD also in molecular biosciences and bioengineering.
I also did my undergrad here, and I did it in biochemistry, and I'm working on a master's in the same program as them, and after that going to start a PhD in the same program as them.
Oh wait, this is our mascot. You can insert photo here. His name is Little G.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
Wait, why G?
Ginger.
He's a ginger root
He's
guy.
like a little character.
Oh my god, I can show you, he's so cute.
He's really adorable.
And you should meet his uncle, OG.
We've decided to name the beer OG, Original Ginger.
OG?
Yeah, we kind of are stuck with these acronyms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BRB, Little G,
Yeah.
G,
0G.
0G.
0G, yeah.
It's becoming a problem.
But
Anyway.
We'll figure it out when we run out of acronyms. Yeah, this started pre-COVID. In our lab, the professor and I were talking about doing like a fermentation biochemistry class, and the idea behind this was to help teach business to scientists. And it's kind of like more self-explanatory for people in the business school, but as you might think, scientists are maybe not the most business savvy people. So the idea was to take a scientific product, and we were thinking, well, what's a scientific product that a lot of people like? And we kind of settled on, well, fermented beverages. So from there, one of the classes, we kind of started experimenting, and that was actually this class here. And we started experimenting with different kinds of ginger beer, and we were like, okay, well, how do we like make a business out of this? And so we just kind of kept going with that, and now we're here. And then COVID actually kind of congealed those ideas into like more of a real thing, and brought us closer together, and then that's how we started.
There's a lot of connections that we made in PACE, especially with our mentor. When we went out to, talk to people, gather consumer research, we made a lot of connections, I think. That's what I learned. Just talking to people, networking, connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
I just think it gave us the courage to actually interview people and ask the questions, because it was a class, we had to do it. So it gave us the courage to actually go and ask the brewers these real questions that we had no idea.
It's hard to talk to people.
Yeah.
Through one of the mentors, one of the things that I learned was, don't be normal, be weird.
Be weird.
Be weird,
Yes.
sets you apart from everything else, and kind of gets people to look at you, then just glance over. I found that very helpful, because sometimes we just want to, stay the course. Sometimes it's fun to go outside the lines, so.
Yeah, I mean, and just getting us out into the community, we kind of like ran into the brewing community in Hawaii, and we're like, oh wow, there's a really cool like close-knit community, and it was really interesting seeing the connections between everyone that was there, and then like talking to them all like individually, because we're doing interviews with the owners and stuff like that, and it was that was very eye-opening because we didn't know anything about that community, but they were, very much invested in each other.
I think right now we're pretty much still in like this R&D kind of phase where we're testing out new flavored beverages and also testing out new products with the byproducts of our ginger. So we're in this like stage of just research and development. In terms of like traction, I mean, we recently was featured in Honolulu magazine not too long ago, so that's been a big thing. Because of that, we've started getting like more people to notice our brand or business. Our Instagram following has been like slowly growing. That's been pretty great, but yeah.
Yeah, we're not quite at the phase where we have like a physical location yet, but we're hoping soon.
Getting there.
Getting there.
Yeah, so as far as what he was saying as traction and what we're doing and expanding into other areas, we're looking at creating different products from the same material that we started with and essentially coming up with a secondary and tertiary product and essentially having zero waste at the end of the day. So we'll start with our ginger, we'll create our beer, and then we're creating a ginger syrup afterwards, and then a ginger cookie from that ginger, and ultimately zero waste, which is really nice. Yeah, so that kind of leads on to what he was saying.
Sustainable.
Sustainability, yeah. 5 years from now, like Nick was saying, we don't have a storefront yet. We plan to, but some of the things that we need to do right now is get some funding, and with the legal restrictions of liquor and alcohol, there are a lot of loops and hoops that you got to jump through, and if you don't have a lot of starting capital, you're not going to be able to have a workplace in which then you can apply for your permits and licensing federally and state. And because of that, we've come up with other products. So we've also come up with a non-alcoholic ginger beer that tastes similar to what the alcoholic version is, and is something that we can work with without having to have all of these checks and balances before we take something that's a little more restricted to market.
We'll be at a farmer's market near you soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the next goal. I think Kokua Market is in the scope of things. Well, I mean, the basic one is don't be scared to do it. Just ask questions and go out there. I think once you get that fear and you stick behind that fear, it's never gonna go forward. So if you can kind of just like get over that little scared little hump, and then you just start doing it, you'll actually realize that a lot of people want to help you. They don't want to see you fail. So there's people out there that want to help you. So if you have that idea, to just go forward and start asking for help.
And it's not the first time that these questions have been asked, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, businesses may have different ideas and different avenues or ways they want to introduce or bring about something that they've made, but the channels in which you can go through to bring that product to market are similar to one another. And I think that's something that we sometimes run into and need to just break that barrier a little bit and become novices once again and ask those questions ultimately, because the resources are there.
Yeah, just find your niche. What?
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Not generic.
Yeah, that's
No, I'm kidding.
that's the that's the most generic. But yeah, if you find that way to make yourself stand out, you can do it.
I mean, I'd say what the advice that we got from one of the mentors through the PACE program: be weird, do you. Don't be afraid to go out there
I
and
was gonna
expose
say that,
yourself.
but
And
yeah.
Didn't
Be
we just
weird,
do
be
this
fun
one?
and creative.
I think, yeah, and then people are more willing to help you if you're a little just out there, willing to ask too,
Yeah.
because they
Out
see that
there.
interest.
Well, and you're not gonna get an answer if you don't ask. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have to ask. Someone out there has done the same thing that you're doing before you, and as long as you ask, you might find that person. They might have some great advice.
as much as you prepare, you still may be unprepared.
I mean,
I like that.
Yeah.
honestly, just fake it till you make it.
No.
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 If you act like you belong,
Yeah.
Don't take advice from him.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of times too where we didn't expect to have the interest that we had in some cases. Like
Mhm.
we've talked to a lot of people and a lot of industry owners that were like, yeah, you guys are great, we'd love to help you out. And it kind of just always caught us off guard because we never expected anybody to have that like overextending like interest.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
with our Honolulu Mag feature
Yeah,
too.
that was-
We got a lot of people who got really interested in our product.
So I guess it goes back into just try it. Just jump in there and do it because you never know what you're going to expect. And a lot of times it's always for the best.
Yeah, well, and you never know
Yeah.
who you're gonna meet. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, venture forward into the unknown.
It was challenging. I mean, I think that's a word we'd probably all use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not even just in like going out and like meeting people and stuff, but like just making sure that all of your ideas are solid, and not being too weird to the point where people are like, this person's just crazy, because you don't want to be that weird. You want to be like the weird enough where you're like, where they're like, oh, this is haha weird, not I'm gonna leave weird.
But also challenging in the sense that like not everything, especially with product testing, not everything you try is going to work or
Yeah.
taste good, especially with what we're doing. Like it has to taste good in order for us to sell it. So I think in that aspect, it's challenging because we're trying to always lock in that right flavor that will attract everybody.
Yeah, well, and that's like our own personal challenge.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we set a standard of excellence, and that's like, it's always hard to.
Break free from that as scientists.
True.
I
Yeah,
think the
science
big
now.
thing that a word was encouraging. You know, it's okay to go out there and try, and at the end of the day, you do have something, and there are ways to refine what you're working on. And it's not good to just stop, but keep moving, you know.
Well, and when you go out into the community and they find that whatever you're doing is good, sometimes their words are encouraging, and you're like, yes, I can do it. So.
It was inspiring. It was inspiring looking at all the other businesses that, started off where we are and have slowly grown and have turned into something a lot larger that shows us that, hey, we can do it. We have the resources available at our disposal. And I think if we, keep continuing to do what we're doing,
Yeah.
it'll get done.
Yeah.
Hello, we are Root Brewery. You can follow us on Instagram at brb_Hawaii, and you can find us at the nearest market near you.
Soon.
Soon. Farmers market
And maybe market.
and maybe
Soon.
market.
Soon.